Depression.
Level 4. This is where the labs are supposed to be.
I knew you'd make it.
Eva?
Yes, I'm here if you need me. Hey, I can see the top of your head in one of the cameras.
How are you talking through this?
What do you mean?
It looks like a portable camera.
That's so cool. Now I'll be able to see everything you see.
Can you open the gate for me?
Yeah, I can, but I need its serial number. Try looking for an electrical panel connected to it. The electrical panel should be connected to the door.
Attention, Chief Commander of Military Colonies, top secret. If the civilian commandment demonstrates incompetence, endangers the completion of the E project, leads the colony into disarray, or places the continued existence in danger, fails to meet production quotas for 3 consecutive months, exhibits signs of incapacity, mental or physical illness rendering him incapable of performing his duties, he must be eliminated and a replacement chosen.
The elevator's stuck.
I think it's the same one that I took before. If it hadn't broken down, I might never have found you. Hold still. I have to type it in. Okay, got it. It should be open now. We're unstoppable. By the way, I heard everything you said down there in that food processing place.
Oh.
I just wanted to tell you that I understand. I know what it's like to be left alone. Things stop making sense and you think everything's hopeless, but you have to keep going. Especially now, when we are so close. The control room is somewhere on this level.
This is incredible. How deep underground are we?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's not the way.
Are those the labs?
Looks more like a prison to me.
So this is where they kept the criminals.
I don't seem to have any control over this place. Its core architecture is much older than anything else around here. It's not even connected to the mainframe.
It's what?
Nothing. Forget about it.
Can't I open these doors? Oh, see, there's a red light above all of them. Figure that out later, I guess.
They needed permission to go downstairs. They were issued a one-use punch card for good behavior. So, if we want to go downstairs, we'll have to find an unused punch card. Try opening up the cells.
Rules and regulations. Each matron taking part of the program will be granted a one-use punch card for good behavior. A one-use punch card can be exchanged for a visit to the first floor of the complex. Good behavior merits can be gained by abiding the following rules. Curfew. Matrons may not leave their rooms between 2100 and 0630. Hygiene. Matrons are required to maintain good and personal hygiene. Cleanliness will be monitored by the superintendent. Medicine intake. Each matron will be prescribed a course of medication by their attending physician. Matrons must follow the medication intake as instructed. Nutrition. Matrons are required to eat all of the food that is brought to them by the superintendent. The above-mentioned rules are subject to change by the attending physicians. Not abiding by the instructions of the attending physicians may be punishable by death. Matrons makes me think mother. And they're caretaking of mothers, meaning are they having mothers giving birth? Like, is this like a pregnancy program?
What does this mean?
That the prisoners who were kept here were all fertile women.
Why?
I don't know.
Dear Professor, as a specialist in the field of dentistry, I would like to turn your attention to the teeth-related aspects of your program. Research has shown over 90% of Polish women suffer from tooth decay and other dental diseases, negatively affecting their reproductive capacity. Dental diseases delay the onset of pregnancy and are significant factors in miscarriages and low birth weight. Oral hygiene must be meticulously maintained during pregnancy. Bile spat up during morning sickness destroys enamel. Women must rinse their mouths with water after each expulsion. I suggest each woman admitted to the program undergoes full dental treatment before being sent to the farm. Once there, they must be supplied with oral hygiene supplies and supervised in their use. The farm? Like baby making farm? Or farm as an actual farm?
Let's grab the punch card and get out of here.
No. I think we should pay respect to the stories of these women. I don't want their sacrifice to be forgotten.
Look, this one hasn't been used at all. We could leave now.
The women here were only allowed to go downstairs a couple of times. And this woman never even used her pass.
Tiny evil bunny. Day 3. It is my third day here, and I still marvel at the conditions in this place.
How bad is the world outside that a prison seems like a better option?
Everything is clean to the point of sterility, and the Germans treat us with a measure of politeness, and the food is fantastic. I have never eaten such frequent, delicious, filling meals. Plus, they see we get enough physical activity and maintain proper hygiene. They even make sure we brush our teeth after every meal. Before I was brought here, they subjected me to every medical examination imaginable. It would all be like a wonderful vacation, except I still do not know why I'm here. Except I still do not know where I am, nor why am I here. I have no idea, and I have no one to talk to about it at all. I share my room with Stefa, but as soon as we enter it, she begins crying into her pillow. I tried to speak to the other girls in the cafeteria, but they only point to the walls with an uneasy look in their eyes. Is someone eavesdropping? It seems I will have to survive a while longer without conversation. At least I have you, dear diary.
This one is used up.
That's a lot of... Okay. A four-letter word for heaven it's not. Hell. That's it. Damn, even the crossword puzzles here are depressing. Okay. A four-letter word for heaven it's not. Hell. That's it. Damn, even the crossword puzzles here are depressing.
Those paintings.
Read about them?
My mom used to draw something like that.
It's probably just a coincidence.
Swava? That's my mom's name. She was one of the prisoners. Why did she never mention it to me?
What do you want to talk about this place?
I am forever grateful for what you did for me. He looks exactly how I remember him. I was terrified when I realized that I was starting to forget him. But now, thanks to you, I don't have to worry anymore. He'll always be with me. I'm writing this to you because I know you don't like to talk about it, but I hope one day you also get to experience what it means to be a mother. Those brief moments that we share with our children make all the suffering we go through worthwhile. I am praying to any God that is listening that they bless you with a child.
Here's another one.
Looks like it's all used up.
I'm glad that's over. Wait, that tree? It looks familiar. This is it? This is what they were denied? The right to meet their own children? You know what? I've tried to be brave, but this is too much for me. Call for me when you're out of there.
Oh. Woman who likes to do crossword puzzles. The one who keeps a diary. One. What this one is. Instructions concerning the selection of children Children involved in the program must pass a rigorous selection process. As a first step, children with Aryan traits should be identified. They will be passed to real German families, or once the program is underway, to the colonists. The remaining children should, by the time they are 5 years old at the latest, be split into 3 groups. Those with above average intelligence, as measured by the DISC, subjected to programming. Those with normal intelligence, prepared for field work or labor work, or factory work. Those in any manner of mentally challenged, placed in the T4 program. Note, point C does not apply to autistic children. They are difficult to manage, but score impressively in testing. Acting civilian commandant of the shelter, I wish to inform you that the Haas, one of our educators, has grown louder in expressing her discontent with the conditions of our school. She feels that the cozy environs, exquisite food and learning through play, frequent physical activity, and ample leisure time, and state-of-the-art medical care should not be wasted on Slavic swine. She complains that our own children, Aryans who can trace their heritage back at least 7 generations, live much more modestly and without such extensive aids. Furthermore, their education is frequently interrupted by the need to take shelter from enemy bombing raids. Bit disturbing, comparing the children to the skulls.
I think this is the way out.
From the looks of it, the control room should be just beyond the dam.
Eva,
Yes?
could you open the door for me like you did before?
Are you sure you want me to do that? Knowing this place, it can't be anything good.
Yes, I do.
Okay then.
What is this?
They were inseminating women here. It's horrible. I knew coming in here was a bad idea.
And of course there's a video camera.
A classroom?
Dear Sir, I wish to call to your attention a matter which I believe is of the utmost importance to the program you oversee. Cutting-edge research by Helga indicates teaching children to play musical instruments has a very positive effect on their intelligence, particularly their linguistic ability and spatial perception. This research's findings in methodology can be found in Helga's fascinating doctoral dissertation, written by a young woman under the tutelage of my husband and soon to be defended. Thus, out of concern for proper mental development of our young colonists, I ask that a grand piano be included in the colony supplies, for such an instrument provides the best way to practice one's scales and thus enter the broader musical world. My husband is a fervent proponent of this idea.
There was a merry-go-round like that near my house. My mom never let me play on it.
If you want, we can come back here later.
No, that's okay.
It's never easy, is it? You'll have to find a way around.
What is this place? Ella?
I grew up here.
Didn't you say that you grew up in a village in the mountains?
I did.
And you thought this was it?
Szymon, this isn't funny. What is going on here?
I don't know. Are you sure this is the place?
It is. At least I think it is. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Oh, mighty Vales, old Mrs. Pisniak begrudged you a sacrifice. I heard her say it. Told her husband he was a fool to give you meat. Why not old bread if we got to give something, she said. Anyway, she only gives up anything so people don't call her cheap. So please, mighty Vales, punish her like she deserves, and reward me, your faithful servant, always looking after you, with health, good fortune, and that ring with the red gem. Got off the German woman, and surely does not deserve.
This place looks really nice.
You don't have to humor me. I wonder what happened to all the people who lived here with me. It looks like they're gone for good.
Build a statue, like it's no small thing. Don't get me wrong, I've built all sorts of crap in my time. When I framed and roofed a summer villa for the chief of police, he nearly wet himself with the admiration when he saw it. I stayed out of the camp because of that, unlike my predecessor who botched the job. Those forms I made outside Lagoda for the underground bunkers that housed Major Speedy's partisans, they took a bombing and still didn't bust. But a statue? What am I, some kind of log-chopping wood carver? No, I'm a carpenter, damn it. Lucian might know his stuff about the gods, but he doesn't know shit about wood. Although I suppose when the gods are involved, it's best not to make a fuss. Oh well, guess I'll hack out that statue for him.
This place looks really nice. And what's here?
This is where we used to gather. My father performed rituals at that altar. They were preparing a ritual for a successful journey.
So they left without you?
It looks like they didn't finish the ceremony. It's missing some offerings. Without them, their journey won't be successful.
So, do you want me to finish the ceremony?
You know what? Yes, I do.
What do we need?
2 things. An animal offering and a sacred item. What should we start with?
Let's start with an animal offering. Where can we find something like that?
We have to get creative.
I could try to catch a rat.
I don't think that would be necessary. I have an idea. Go behind the stage, there's a workshop there.
And we will find a food offering there?
Sort of.
Showers. Toilets.
Go straight ahead. We can grab that sacred item since we're already here.
Again, someone was a painter. Like the same person from upstairs. They got further on the carriage. Get upstairs.
What am I looking for?
My hairpin.
What does the hairpin look like?
My father carved it in the shape of a bison. At least that's what he said it was. This is where I last saw it.
I can't find it.
I guess we'll have to find something else instead.
How about the ring on the draw?
Yes, that could work. You just have to bless it, but that's not going to be difficult. Now let's look for an animal offering. There's a workshop behind the stage. We'll find it there. I wonder what happened to that hairpin.
Maybe they took it.
No, they knew how important it was to me.
I'm sure it will turn up somewhere. EK?
Those are my initials.
Did you do that?
No, Antek carved it for me. He got such a talking to after.
What does the K stand for?
I don't remember.
Great bells grant me the gift of motherhood. Let me savor the sight of my own child as he learns to walk and talk, as he grows and supports me and my husband in our old age. I tried treating myself with primrose oil, flaxseed oil, and chastewood extract. An herbalist friend gave me a mixture of lady's mantle, yorrel, rue leaves, yellow melilot, lavender, calamus root, marigold flower, hops, and rose hip. Nothing helped. The years go by, and I fear my womb will soon be barren. I vow if I'm granted offspring, I will raise them to revere and worship you to the end of their days. You are my last hope.
Are you sure this will work?
Don't worry, it's just about symbolism. It looks like we have everything. We can go back to the altar now.
Why were there so many toys there?
All the children grew up, and because of the radiation, no new ones were born. The youngest was Antek. When he turned 12, he became an adult. They shaved his head and put all the toys in one place for future children.
Who's Antek?
My best friend.
Get ready. Yeah. Thing that I actually have.
Put the offerings in the bowls. Now bless the items and the ritual will be complete.
How do I do that?
Just say a few words. Something profound. The gods like that.
How about... No matter how dark the night, a new day's sun will rise.
Yeah, that works. I think we did it. Their journey should be successful now. Wherever they went. Thank you for doing this for me.
Since you grew up here, and the people from that recording moved here, did you recognize any of them? Like Lucian?
That scientist? I don't remember anyone like that. At least I don't think I do. I'm glad that we finished the ritual. Their journey should be safe now. And maybe ours will be too.
And what's here?
Something isn't right about this place.
What do you mean?
I just don't remember being here.
They're broken. All the glass shards.
The tree.
It's the same as the one in your mom's drawings. That's Lucian, the man you're looking for. And there's Dominica. They look like they were friends.
He changed.
He definitely got older.
My husband to be.
Oh, that is one cute baby.
Happiest day of my life. I am blessed. My sunshine.
Sonas, your photo fits the empty space. But that doesn't make any sense. It would mean that the baby is you? I can't imagine what you're going through learning that Lucian is your father.
He will never be my father. And I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, just... Yeah, okay. It must be your father's... Oh, I mean, Lucian's study.
I leave this with
Who
you.
is he trying to save?
I leave this with you. When the time comes, it is the gods who will judge my actions. I will stand before them. I will look them in the eyes. I will not blink, because I know that one cannot have a higher purpose than devoting their whole life to saving their loved ones. Where did they get all this furniture down here?
My dear friends, now that's not it. Bracia I siostry. Yes, much better. Bracia I siostry. Recently, there have been many events that have left us at a loss for words. Things that lack any rational explanation. Recoveries from illness that seemed impossible. The appearance of farm animals that were thought to be extinct. I have long believed that someone has been watching over us. Still, I was afraid to share my thoughts. That is, until now.
Lucian!
Fate has brought us here, to the land of Veles, the Slavic god of water and the underworld.
Lucian, obiad.
Give me a moment, please. You know I get nervous before these things.
I'm sorry, just hurry up, it's getting cold.
Brothers and sisters, we do not know when we shall leave this bunker. We must fend for ourselves, and it warms my heart to see this spirit of camaraderie among us each and every day. Yet events have transpired that are hard to explain rationally. They found a new tunic when his old one could no longer be patched up. They found a new hoe after her old one broke. And he returned to health, though we never knew what afflicted him or how to cure it. The list goes on. I have the feeling that someone is watching over us, and recently has given us a sign. Fate's tangled path has brought us to the kingdom of Vels, the Slavic god of the waters, of the underworld, yet also of song and poetry. I feel it is he who is behind all of these marvels. He is giving us signs that we will believe. Let us erect an altar and statue to worship him, so that we may win with his favor and his aid. Is this down here? Creepy baby doll.
Can we talk about what just happened?
I don't think I want to. Let's just focus on our goal. The control room should be close.
Sure.
You said you lived here with other people.
As far as I remember,
Where did they all go?
they must have left just before you got here.
I don't think you're telling the truth. So, you grew up here, underground. Do you remember the world outside?
Sure I do. Before the bombs hit, I had a normal life on the surface.
Before the bombs hit? Wasn't that like 20 years ago? That doesn't make any sense. That was your friend, wasn't it?
Was he really so young when it happened?
I'm so sorry, Eva. Is this the right path?
I don't know.
I don't want to be here anymore.
It can't be much further.
Please, you need to help me.
I don't know how.
Eva, your name's on the grave. What's going on here?
I don't remember. I don't want to remember.
Orlando? That's his name. You're his daughter.
Stop it. I don't want to hear it. You should never have come here.
But you wanted me to help you.
You can't help me. No one can. This place was built on lies and death. There's only pain here. I'm not going to suffer anymore. I'm shutting it down. It's over. You hear me? It's over.
Eva? Eva? If he's your father, then I will say this is, whether you want me to or not.
Starting last failure report. Post-AWA.
I have the pin, so we'll be together. I made sure of that, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm forgetting something. Stop. The faithful need not be afraid. The faithful are protected. It's cause and effect. Cause and effect. As for the others, we must hope for the best and prepare for the worst. If anything happens, just remember to monitor their heart rates. There's no need for anything drastic.
Enabling Overwatch mode successful. Scanning for weapons, threat level low.
Welcome to our humble home. My heart rejoices to see us all together as sisters and brothers. You were all summoned here to proclaim your allegiance to the gods. That was the agreement, and you have stood by your word. We who have been blessed by the gods will prove the power of our faith to the doubtful. You damn fools! Hey! Zostaw mnie! Zostaw mnie! Kurwa! You haven't the slightest idea! You will feel the wrath of the gods!
Physical damage detected. Medical clinic malfunction, ventilation system malfunction warning, sedative level high. Rebooting system.
So, this is it for me, huh? Do what you want. I refuse to be part of your twisted little fantasy any longer.
Warning, multiple deaths detected on the upper floor. Ventilation system malfunction. Dominica,
The unfaithful are no more. They brought the wrath of the gods upon themselves. Do you understand? They are to blame. But we're still together. Everyone who matters is alright. What happened to her?
before I hit that button. Investigate. Hit the button. Or the lever, I mean. Left going right. That was the AI lab. Here is the alchemy lab. This one. Genetics lab. Can't do anything. Let's go into this one. Okay, the game got a little choppy. Science log, Lucian. Dr. Rudolph noted in his findings that the biocomponents hippocampus suffered the most stress during excessive use of the system. What he failed to notice was that there were numerous ways to counter the stress through non-invasive methods. Precautions such as limiting the number of operations the biocomponent can work on simultaneously, or applying a shift work system for most day-to-day operations can greatly decrease the stress the biocomponent is subjected to. We have already exceeded the longevity of the most durable biocomponents by a factor of 10. This is even more impressive considering we are only operating with a single host. Unfortunately, there is no denying that there is a substantial deterioration of the biocomponent's memory. Delusions are becoming increasingly frequent. For this reason and this reason alone, I have decided to conduct a physical procedure injecting the biocomponent with a modified version of the drug cocktail the Nazis formulated to create the Uber soldier. Is, I must say, rather worrying since no such experiments have previously been carried out. But the situation is dire. He turned his kid to a robot, didn't he?
So this is where you spend all of your time.
Dominica?
I came to talk.
Not right now.
I know we haven't seen eye to eye for a very long time, but I wanted to put our differences aside and come here to extend my condolences.
Thank you. But I have to get back to work.
That's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. People at the processing plant are worried. No one's seen you since the funeral.
I've been busy. As I said, I need to get back to work.
I understand that's how you operate, but this obsession, it's not healthy.
Wait. The plant isn't overloading the system, is it?
No, everything's working fine. People are calling it a miracle.
Good. Good.
I can't imagine what it's like to lose a child.
Dominica, I don't have time for it.
Time for what? Grieving the death of your daughter?
You don't understand. I can still do something.
She's gone, Lucian. You can't bring her back. There's not going to be a second miracle.
Just you wait and see.
So... he faked her death?
Or she did die, but... Science log, Lucian. It is undeniable that the drugs used by the Nazis have beneficial results on the host when, I cannot stress enough how important this is, used correctly. Any alteration to the formula, however slight, could be fatal. I found the side effects to be particularly useful, especially considering the current situation among the colonists. There may come a point at which we will need to defend ourselves. Its gas form, however, is not easy to contain. That is why I deemed it necessary to create a vaccine which I will administer to the believers. There is no reason to risk the well-being of those who decided to trust me. I just need to make sure they take it, but it should not be difficult. They will do anything if they think it will strengthen their faith in the gods. Medically enhanced ritual wine should do just fine. Openness for. To Professor Wolfgang Winkler, Director of the Medicine for the Intelligence Program. Dear Professor, preliminary research indicates that the rapid consumption of biocomponents is due to stress caused by constant stimulation from electrical impulses, combined with the enormous amount of information being processed. Excessive stress promotes hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal axis activity, in turn causing the excretion of, among others, cortisol, thereby damaging the hippocampus. No further factual data is available at this time. Regarding our hypothesis, we currently have one. The excellent conditions in which the biocomponents are raised increases the processing power of the system to which they are attached. Yet the use of solely positive reinforcement during rearing increases the release of dopamine and creates an addiction to it. This contributes to a lack of stress resistance and coping mechanisms. We should investigate the effect of introducing a more stressogenic rearing method. Sorry if I slaughtered words. Keep in mind that is 100% my fault and has nothing to do with the game.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eva. Happy birthday to you. I've got a present for you. This is your little brother. You'll never be alone again. We just have to give him some time before he's big enough to join you. Do you mean you don't want him to?
Who are you talking to?
I'm just talking to our sweet little boy. I can't get enough of him.
He wanted me to join her. But where?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That is a brain. Science log Lucian, the Nazis' neurobiological research team sought to transfer information between the hippocampal neurons responsible for memory and spatial perception. Previously, 3 methods for achieving this were known. The Nazi team, however, discovered a 4th, via the jumping of electrical impulses. They experimented on human hippocampal cross-sections and found that low-level vibration can generate magnetic poles, which in turn activate neighboring cells. Neurons thus may communicate with without electrical chemical synaptic transmission even when surgically separated. Therefore, neuron signals within the brain can be transmitted without any actual contact. This was the foundation of how they handled the communication between the 2 biocomponents. The 2 most durable hosts were connected between March 1945 and August 1947. They lasted longer and were more efficient than any other pair of biocomponents. The Nazis never made the connection as to why they functioned better than any previous pair of hosts. The host names were Alec and Mikko. They were siblings. Acceptance. It's time. It was fate that brought us to this place, and it was fate that now leads us away. We leave tomorrow in search of another place that we can call home. We mistook this place for paradise. We know now that it was never meant to be our paradise, but it could be yours. I know you will come here, if not in a year, then perhaps in 5. And not in 5, then in 10. But you will come here. You cannot avoid it. It may seem cruel, but the gods have a plan for us all. You can try to run from your destiny, but it will catch up with you in the end. You will come here and you will have a chance to make everything right. You know what needs to be done.
Szymon,
Do you want me to read something to you?
no. The light is hurting my eyes today. Open the drawer for me, would you? I got upset when you found that. I shouldn't have.
It's okay, Mom.
I hope he forgives me
Hope who forgives you?
when he sees what a smart, brave young man you turned out to be.
Mom, what are you talking about? Forgive you for what?
Forgive me for taking you away from him.
Mom, I don't understand. Why are you telling me this? Mom, it's not your fault. You did what you had to.
I bet this isn't how you imagined it finally. Everything came back to me when you found that grave. Like a flood. To think I was keeping the truth from myself for all that time. It's amazing what the human mind is capable of.
Eva, you're alive.
I am.
That's good.
At this point, I don't really know, Szymon. What I do know is that I was really upset when I told you to leave. Now I'm glad you didn't listen.
There are so many things I want to...
I'm tired, Szymon. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I think I'd like to go.
What do you mean?
I want you to unplug me.
Eva... Why?
Szymon, I don't even understand what I am anymore.
Eva, I don't know what you are, but I don't have any idea what I am either.
Two souls adrift in a sea of madness. It's good to know I'm not the only one who feels this way. You know, I tried to forgive him for leaving me here, but I can't. Do you think that makes me a bad person? Tell me, what kind of father condemns his own daughter to oblivion?
I'm not sure what to say. Luton wanted to sacrifice my life to save you. That's how much he loved you.
I'm glad he didn't. I'd rather have a brother in the end.
Luton lied about your death to save you.
And you think it was justified?
I think he loved you as a father more than anything else.
Szymon, that's really a lot to take in. I don't know what to do with it. How do you imagine my life here will look, huh? You think I'll be able to go outside, see the sunshine? What happens if there's a power outage and I'm all alone? Or if someone comes and tries to take this place and use it? You think I'll be strong enough to defend myself?
You're stronger than you think. Eva, tell me, what will happen to you if I agree?
Well, that depends on what you believe happens when someone dies. What do you think?
You will meet all the people who died before you.
That doesn't sound too bad, does it? I think you're ready.
Ready for what?
To make the decision. I want you to know that I'll accept your decision no matter what it is.
I will do it. Eva?
I'm here. Thank you, Szymon. It's a relief to know my fate is settled. But that leaves us with you. What are you going to do?
I want to leave this place. What do you think?
I think you're making the right choice. There's nothing good to be found here anymore. This place can finally be forgotten. So, what's your final decision, Szymon?
I will go.
Take care out there. I hope you find what you're looking for. Goodbye, brother.
And that is Paradise Lost. The one thing about walking simulators that either you love or you hate it. The story is interpreted by the player, by the notes that you pick up or you don't pick up. If you're a thorough explorer, you'll see more of the story. If you're not, you'll miss the story. I thought I was pretty thorough, but I still feel like I might have missed some points. But this is pretty much my summary. The Nazis built an underground giant city network. They wanted to breed super soldiers using Polish people because they felt that they could be sacrificed, easily sacrificed. So they were breeding super soldiers to protect their elite. But at some point, there was an uprising because the conditions were quite horrendous. So during the uprising, a lot of Nazis lost their lives. And then sometime down the road, the Polish themselves have a bit of a civil war because there's two different factions. One group wants to use the machinery and the Nazi technology, and the other does not. Dominica doesn't want to use the technology, and Lucian does. So there is a civil war, and they split up after some infighting. But Lucian has the upper hand because the side of the bridge that he lands on has the food farms. So they try to work together, but there's some secret underhand activities that are happening. And she comes to him not being totally honest, but he uses the machine against them. Now he means to use a sedative, but the machine is overwhelmed. The story makes it sound like she snuck up behind and overwhelmed the machine, and instead of being a sedative, it actually killed a lot of people on both sides. So they leave where they were and they go deeper underground. And Lucian becomes a leader of sorts because the people are heavily religious and they're using religion to try to better their lives. By the notes, we know that the women are desperately trying to have children. They're praying heavily for it, and the men are praying for good fortune. And they're turning to Lucian, who's sounds like he was a bit power hungry and really wanted to prove that he could lead the people. At some point, his daughter dies. The story is very vague on how or why, and he tricks the people into having a funeral for her, but then he uses a machine to hook her up and have the machine keep her alive. But he finds out through research that it does better with siblings. Now, I can't tell if the two of them had, Dominica and him, had a relationship before this, the Civil War. It's vague, but it sounds like they might have had a previous relationship, and either he purposely rekindled it or it was just incidental. They rekindled, and he has a son, and he plans on sacrificing his son to save his daughter. And in doing so, she figures it out and she runs with his son and leaves him. Now, it does sound like she loved him, but of course not enough to sacrifice her son for his wishes. Now, the ending is I think, very much up into interpretation. I decided to unplug her and have the son leave the bunker. But I also realized as I was editing and going through, I think, from what I can tell, is that if you choose to save her and see what joins her, then in theory, what it was laying the groundwork for was that I think while she was in being kept alive, she was healing the underground in a way, making kind of an underground biodome system. And if he joins her, I think it could speed up the process and they could heal the land in theory. But there's no guarantee of that either. Even in the studies in the previous note, both people have died in the previous versions. So he could leave and there could still be a living world, or we just doomed the world by having him unplug her and leave. Well, in theory, they could have saved it. I don't know. it's up to interpretation. Let me know in the comments what you thought was about. You think I'm right or if I'm wrong. It's hard to say. That's the thing about walking simulators. You never know.